You want to talk about Spinal Tap?
Yeah. So there's a new Spinal Tap. My review is 2 words. Shit sandwich.
You can't print that. That's you know it doesn't really say that.
Where they print that?
That's not real, is it?
You can't print that.
I actually kind of love Rob Reiner's voice, that New Yorkie voice.
Oh yeah. I mean, the first movie, he's amazing.
But hey, enough of my yakking. What do you say? Let's boogie.
So we had a chat a few months ago about the trailer, and at the time I said this. I said, wow, it's kind of incredible that they're even able to do it at all. Harry Shearer's 82. It's awesome that they're all still alive. I mean, you're thinking stuff like that when you're watching it. It's 40 years later. And by all of them, I mean Harry Shearer, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Rob Reiner himself. So like that, you know, the core 4. And I was like, you know, even if it's just them sitting around improvising, I you know, that enough would be entertaining. I didn't know how right I would be that it was quite literally just them sitting around improvising. So you might hear that and you might say, well, isn't that what the first movie is? Well, no. But yes, they're improvising the whole movie, but that movie has like a whole story to it and a whole like series of plot points and a lot of like shot diversity. And of course, brand new music, like all the music from the original is the original music.
Yeah, they're really just playing the hits here.
Yeah, this is more like a Spinal Tap reunion video.
I mean, like you said, it's like we lost Ozzy Osbourne recently, and he had that final concert where he's in the chair and it lifts out of the stage, and you're like, oh my god, that's crazy. He's still able to do that, and he died, and I was like, oh, what a way to go. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I'm glad they got together and were able to do this. And there's, you know, it's not like, I wasn't like pissed off. I was like, oh, it's fun to be here. It's fun that they're doing this. It really is. Yeah. Just like a reunion, hangout with these characters.
It feels like you've brought us to a place where the dead people are, but we're not dead yet.
No, but we have to start thinking about that and get used to it.
Really, my only objection is, so the title, which is very funny, is Spinal Tap II, The End Continues. It's a great title. The wordplay on these guys has always been top notch. But yeah, I would say like the first 10 minutes or so, they actually play a lot of footage from the first movie, which is already like a sign of like interesting. I've seen the first movie, guys. And then, you know, it feels a bit like a Christopher Guest movie where you're going to their different locations and seeing where they are. You know, Harry Shearer has a glue, you know, because he considers himself the glue of the band. He owns a glue museum.
Yeah, the lukewarm water in the first movie.
More like lukewarm water.
I feel my role in the band is to be kind of in the middle of that, kind of like lukewarm water.
And Christopher Guest has a cheese shop and a new wife. And Michael McKean resents him. They haven't been speaking because he believes that Christopher Guest fucked his wife, the woman from the first movie, who does appear in this movie briefly as a nun.
As a nun, yes.
So it's kind of feeling like a movie. It's kind of feeling like Spinal Tap 2. Everybody's a little bit older and it's a little bit whatever, but it's feeling like a movie. But then they kind of, you know, they're coaxed into doing a reunion concert as a group again. And once they get to the rehearsal studio, the movie is pretty much just at the rehearsal studio. Yeah, and they're literally sitting down. Like they're all seated.
Yeah. They make a joke about that later too. Yeah. But yeah, it's literally sitting and they improvise in that studio. A celebrity will come by occasionally, play with them and improvise. And then the celebrity will leave and they'll do more scenes and goofiness and they'll bring in props for them to react to. and then
some of the film language was unexpected, like doing like close-up shots of Nigel on the staircase talking to his wife on the phone and stuff. I was like, oh, this is not, so are we not doing mockumentary? A few times like they broke from mockumentary.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like the old movie. It's really fun because it's shot like a mockumentary where the lensing will go soft because they are probably literally improvising the filming too. And so it feels a lot like dynamic. It feels very, energetic. And in fact that they're going to different locations all the time too. And the other thing is, in the original Spinal Tap, you get a real good sense of the band's history.
Yeah.
where they go through the decades and stuff like that.
Stumpy Pete.
And it's been 40 years since that film, and I felt like we didn't get that much. Like, it felt like no time has passed in 40 years.
Yeah.
They do a couple jokes, like Harry Shearer's character like does like a symphony like called Hell to Pay, and it's like, okay. I feel like they could have done more with those 40 years. Maybe the band like goes through like a grunge phase, or like they could have done some decade jokes and maybe some more original music. But
Or they formed new bands, and then you get to hear new music. So we don't get any new music. It's all, they're playing Sex Farm and Bitch School, and some of the songs are the ones from Break Like the Wind, which is their 90s album that they did, but no new music. Now, can they still play music? Yeah, they can, and they're great. Like in their fucking 80s, these guys still are great musicians, awesome. and they're funny. They're all super funny. So it's worth your time. It's just, it's not a movie. It's it's really short. I think it's like, which is good. Yeah, I think it's like an hour 15 or something. So just kind of whip right through it. And there's a concert at the end, and Elton John plays with them in the concert. Really, the only two celebrities that show up are Elton John and Paul McCartney, who are both in the trailer. Yeah. The dude from the Roots there is on the phone with them on a tablet.
Yeah, they zoom.
But it was, and they brought in there was like the woman who played the like one of the nurses in Derek, Ricky Gervais's Derek. She's in it. Everybody, it's great to see them, truly. There's like a fake arc. This whole thing about did you fuck my wife and did you betray me? And they kind of they try to have like a couple of weirdly dramatic moments with that don't really they're not earned.
It doesn't quite match the the Yoko Ono-ish of the scenario in the first movie. The puppet show was headlining.
That was so funny. Doubly. We're going to play it in doubly.
So they try to shoehorn some drama in there, but it doesn't quite work. Obviously, because it's rushed and it doesn't make sense. And although it is kind of funny where Harry Shearer's like, "Well, I fucked his wife."
That was that was the biggest laugh for me by far. So you go through. So spoilers. You go through the whole movie, and there's this drama, this actual tense drama between Michael McKean and Christopher Guest about whether or not he slept with Michael McKean's wife. Just in the during the video during the credits, Harry Shearer's like, I fucked David's wife.
I had sex with David's wife.
Really? Does David know about this?
No.
It's like, kind of constant callbacks. It's a big fan of its first movie, this movie.
Yeah, and Rob Reiner I feel like leaned on a little too much in this movie, this new one. Like, I feel like he was a little more used sparingly in the first one, and when he was used pretty precisely.
Christopher Guest was always really big on when you're crafting a movie out of improvisation, you need to do it carefully. You need to make sure that the improvisation is building for the story you're telling. He always thought, we would shoot hundreds and hundreds of hours, and we would find the story in the edit, almost like a real documentary.
There's no rehearsal. I would equate it to jazz musicians playing, knowing what the song is, knowing what key you're playing in, and then listening to see whether it's time to solo or not. Yeah.
Waiting for Guffman, Mighty Wind. Man, I love Mighty Wind. If you haven't seen Mighty Wind,
I haven't seen it. No.
It's so good. It's a top 5 for me, probably.
Oh,
the folk music is so good. The comedy is so good. There's just something about it that of course they're in it, but they trained all these other actors to be musicians as well. And the folk music is. Some of it's hilarious. Some of it's beautiful. It was nominated for an Oscar, The Kiss at the End of the Rainbow with Catherine O'Hara. Side note, I have not seen I Like Me, the John Candy doc yet. I want to make sure to see it. But I did, YouTube recommended to me Catherine O'Hara's eulogy at his funeral. She spoke at his funeral. And I got to tell you, it was one of the most beautiful eulogies I've ever heard in my life. For John Candy. If you just want to celebrate somebody's awesome life, for 10 minutes, she really nailed it.
As if he knew he'd be leaving us soon, John left us a library of fun to remember him by, on tape, film, and Laserdisc. And we share this life with the whole world. The British Isles, Europe, the islands, they'll all share with Canadians John's love of life.
I don't know if they incorporated that into the movie. They should. They should have. So anything else to say about Spinal Tap 2, The Ending Continues? I know that they went on like Conan's podcast and they improvised for like an hour, and that alone is entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
This was not born of inspiration. I hate to say, as many reunions are, that you were contractually forced to get back together again, as is made clear in the new documentary.
Induced.
You were induced. It was an induced. It was an induced pregnancy.
It was an induction.
Of the three, Christopher Guest will always be my favorite by far, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think it's awesome that Michael McKean has been able to play like Chuck McGill, kind of in his twilight years, play a character like Chuck McGill.
Yeah, he really shows. And there's a couple times when he like starts screaming, it reminds me of Chuck, and I'm like,
yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, that's where it comes from.
You fucked my wife.
Yeah. I fucked your wife.
That's what I'm hearing.
You must be
and
joking.
That's what I'm saying.
I swear he changed his English dialect from the first movie to this movie. It's almost like he learned more about English dialects and decided this was the more correct one or something.
Probably.
What are you doing with your finger? I might need it later. And put it on the table. It's terrible.
How do you suppose a girl grows up like becoming a drummer? You know, because it's not natural. It doesn't. It's
Eating, exercise, you know.
that's how one continues living, and that's what I'm talking about.
I remember he did a voice of like an Indian guy in the Clerks animated series, and Kevin Smith or somebody on the commentary was like, Michael McKean's one of those people who, you know, you tell him to play an Indian guy and he'll be like, well, from here or from there, or he'll get like really specific. I think he's probably a very, very smart dude. He's, I mean, Michael McKean is an American treasure. I mean, from Laverne and Shirley to all the stuff he's been in.
Just a talent powerhouse.
I'll tell you, for the fans out there of Spinal Tap, if you haven't seen it, it might be hard. You know, I don't think it's online in any capacity except for maybe a couple of uploaded YouTube clips. But I have the DVD and I've ripped it. Unwigged and Unplugged. 2009, the three of those guys did acoustic covers of all of their music. From Spinal Tap to Mighty Wind to stuff from Waiting for Guffman. They bring in, they plug in a couple of times actually. But generally it's acoustic versions, and they're funny as hell the whole time. The versions of the songs are awesome. I love it. It's like one of my favorite like little special DVDs. I wish I could have seen it live. It's funny to think in 2009, Harry Shearer would have been like in his 60s.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, he's old. 82.
He's still doing The Simpsons.
Who have announced a second movie, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's or everyone's going to have like tired elderly voices and Homer's going to be...
You know what I would love to see? In all seriousness, I think this would be a really great idea for a YouTube video. I want to see somebody make an hour-plus long deep dive on the economics of postmodern Simpsons. So in other words, way past, because we've had 30 years of bad Simpsons or something. We're going on 30 years of bad Simpsons. I want to understand how in the fuck that's profitable. I remember 20 years ago, 15 years ago, people, it's a big name, so people tune in. But since then, we've gone to streaming and
and those guys' salaries are so high.
How the fuck?
How do they do it? Yeah, I don't know what TV's ratings have been. I don't know if they still pull any numbers on like regular TV or what their numbers are on Disney Plus. I don't know. But how does that even make sense?
You remember Spinal Tap was on The Simpsons. I don't remember the episode, but yeah, they're like in concert. The three guys are doing voices. Like Milhouse and Bart go to a Spinal Tap concert.
Oh, I guess I don't remember that.
Yeah, like in one of the early days. Season 3, episode 22, The Otto Show. Yeah, it's the one where Otto lives with Bart for a little while. Like he's down on his luck.
Wow, I don't remember that at all.
So if you remember them going to a concert, like a rock concert, in that episode, it's a Spinal Tap concert.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of great.
Turn on the lasers. Yeah, my vision. That's it. Show's over.
Good night, Springton. There will be no encores.
All right, I think that's all there is to say about Spinal Tap 2. The ending continues.
Yeah, if you like Spinal Tap, it's them sitting in a room.
I kind of wish somebody had told me, hey, don't expect a movie. Expect like a streaming special.
Yeah, a reunion hangout. And then
like a reunion hangout. Yeah. That would have like prepared me a little bit better for the movie, actually.
I saw dates of birth on you fellas, and it sounds to me like the candles are starting to cost a little bit more than the cake. But I would like to ask you a few questions. These are standard boilerplate type questions. Number one, does anyone have any penis pain?
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.